go ahead and start recording.
Okay.
Get the camera down there, and then yeah, let's shoot this guy. Let's see how he sounds.
I'd like to hear that one away without hearing protection, but no way in hell am I doing this one.
Yeah, you don't want to shoot this one without without hearing protection. It'd destroy you. So safety's off, and I'm gonna try and shoot this right over my shotgun mic. If I miss and hit the shotgun microphone, it will be an expensive mistake.
It'll
So
look awesome.
hopefully I won't do that. Shit almost hit me in the face.
Fuck you.
Well, alright then. So as fun as field recording is, it is only half of the process to creating new sounds. They're not just magically going to appear in games somehow, so I need to open them up in an editor and manipulate them in a way that I see fit for L.U.R.K. So I'm using Sony SoundForge Pro 10. Audacity is a fantastic free alternative. What we're looking at here are the 5 different waveforms from the 5 different shots that I took with the K31 early on in the video. So when I look at this, I see 3 distinct stages, 3 distinct things. This here just happens to be I can tell by looking at it, a higher frequency noise because the wavelengths are shorter. This happens to be the crack of the rifle. And then I see this these incredibly long wavelengths, which would signify a sound with a lower frequency. This happens to be the boom. And then we have the sort of tailing off of the of both of these sounds in the environment. You put them all together. So you hear the crack, or really the sonic boom first, because the bullet, which is creating the sonic boom, is traveling the fastest, so it reaches the microphone first. And then directly behind that, moving at about half the speed, we have the actual report from the muzzle. That's normally what is associated with guns. It's sort of that bang. And then that bang then travels past the microphone, hits the mountains that were in the background, and then travels back to the microphone. So we have a few different dynamics in play here. This gap here is relatively short between the sonic boom and the report of the rifle. I was only about 70 yards or so away from the microphone. If I increase that distance to, say, 500 meters, we get a different dynamic. Here, the microphone was set 500 meters away from the shooter, which was me. We were in the same area. The microphone was also set on the mountains, so based on that information, we would then deduce that the environmental echo would happen simultaneously with the report. So let's go ahead and give this a listen. So this creates a interesting scenario. as a sound designer in an interactive medium, I need to decide what the player is going to hear in game. Are they just going to hear a rifle crack, or are we somehow going to calculate how far away the opponent is from the player, and then add in a delay to the rifle report, as would be mathematically accurate inside the game engine. And really, I'm sure it is possible with some really heavy modification in the X-ray, with config files, scripts, maybe even changing some sound libraries and things like that, like DLL files and whatnot. But that's probably going to be out of my scope. So I've decided to go with two options, and I'm going to see which one sounds better. And you guys can give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. I'm going to make a few files that are simply the crack of the bullet. And then I'm going to make a few that are the crack of the bullet combined with the environmental effects. And I'm going to see how they sound in game. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I could argue with myself philosophically for 15 minutes when really I could just put it in the game and test it out and know in 2 minutes or so whether or not it's going to work. So now that I have that figured out, that's settled, I know what I'm going to do, I know what my approach is going to be, I need to actually go about editing the sound. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole thing right here and paste it into a new file. I'm going to create a noise footprint here. This is just, I'm basically going to capture the white noise from the preamp in the field recorder, because my preamps aren't, my field recorder isn't all that fancy. It's really subtle, but I still want to mark it. So I'm going to capture it. There we go. Now that it is captured, I'm going to select the entire file. Get back to the tools. Okay, that's pretty good. And you can easily overdo it, of course, like anything. So next thing I need to do is I want to isolate the crack here. So I'm zooming into the, so I can get a really micro view of the wavelengths. And I want to find a space right about here, right about there, where the wavelength is at, I'm sorry, where the amplitude is at the 0 mark. So from here on back, it will have the least noticeable effect on the sound. Just gonna cut that out. That sounds pretty good. And now I'm gonna take the report out. Same idea. Except now, wherever I cut this out from, it's gonna create a gap, which is automatically gonna be joined. So I want to make sure the wavelengths, the waveforms on the start and end of this section I'm going to cut out will match. And I just use the same philosophy. So find something that's close to neutral and cut it out and remove it, and then find another excuse me, another area of the wavelength that is just as close to neutral. I'm going to go right about there. Zoom in, check up on it. That was close. Go right there. and delete. Oh, and you know what? That's not going to be a very smooth transition. You can see the differences between the styles here. But let's listen to it anyway. Actually, it doesn't really work out too bad, given that I guess there's so much energy here in the sound. And right at the end, you could hear me start to reload, so I'm going to cut that out. Whoops. Did I get that? Yes, I did. Let's see, there's one other thing I need to... Well, a few other things, really, that I need to do. Starting from about here, I want to make sure the sound terminates naturally. So I'm going to go to Process, Fade. And this is a slow, more natural fade that I created for this, as opposed to an exponential or a really quick fade that's just going to drop the volume quickly. This is going to gradually take it out. I just want to make sure it gets all the way to 0, because you don't want to have a sound that ends in the middle of something that isn't 0 volume, because it can result in clipping when it's played back, whether it be in your game or whatever. Then I need to go ahead and normalize the file. So I'm going to make it as loud as possible without creating clipping. And I'm going to just take it through an EQ. Yeah, I like that. That's good. So I'm going to apply that, normalize it one more time. And then I have one sound file ready to go. Then I can save it. I'll probably export it as a WAV file. This is in 24-bit 96 kilohertz. So it's a very high quality file that has a lot of stretching room to be manipulated before it starts to break down. You can look at audio the same way as, say, if you were doing like image editing. The higher resolution a file you start with, the more you can manipulate it before it kind of starts to break down and pixelate and things like that. So the higher quality source file I have with audio, the more I can manipulate it and, slow it down, speed it up, change the pitch, things like that, before it really starts to get digital distortion. So this is one file. I'm going to do this several more times. I'm going to create half that have the crack with the echo, and I'm going to create half that just have the crack, and then we will test it out in game. And I'm excited to test it out in game because we have a new main menu that we've been working on. It was all Panzer's idea, actually, and we're pretty proud of it. So I'm anxious to see what you guys think of it. All right, let's give it a go, see how they sound. What was that? Oh my goodness, a Gauss rifle. What a coincidence. This must be my lucky day. How did that get there?
Оружие убрал?
Yo.
Ствол на плечо, мужик. Оружие убрал.
No, I am busy.
Оружие убрал. Оружие убрал.
He didn't say anything.
Оружие убрал.
Other characters improve
Ты
their
ствол-то убери.
attitude hits. Fucked. Oh, seriously? Alright. Fun's over. Let me know what you guys think. I think it sounds pretty good. I'm probably going to throw in a few whizzes and, you know, things like that that were in the original game, even though they sound pretty crappy. I'll just make my own. Just to mix it up a little bit, keep it diversified. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little longer, but most of you guys said you didn't mind, so there you go. So now I just need to hit that wood board.